you guys, so the stuff we're doing today, you guys have actually done before. And just to give you a heads up, we're doing today's lesson. We'll have another lesson tomorrow, and then we're going to start getting ready for the test. So our test is probably going to be Monday. Maybe Thursday, we'll see.
Oh my god, I had a test today.
Okay, so you guys are probably going to get, like, we'll probably go through this pretty quick, because I bet you guys remember most of this. So,
I wrote on Socrates, I did the hardest.
Read the goddamn directions.
okay, so we are going to be making equations of lines today. Using, anybody remember y equals mx plus b? Yeah, that's what we're going to use today. Well, then you're going to rewrite this. So, to start with, we need to look at slope of lines, which is actually, if you guys look at the warm-up here, looking at these different like parts of the mountain, you could actually find the slope. And does anybody remember what kind of, actually let me back up. So slope is just how steep a line is. That's all slope is. How steep is it? And does anybody remember the little like phrase thing we use when we talk about slope? Rise over run. Slope is just rise over run. And then when we look at slope, what we usually use to talk about slope is the letter M. Whenever you see the letter M in an equation, it means slope. We're actually going to use that today. And we're actually not going to really use this today. But you can also find slope by doing y minus y1 over x minus x1. I don't believe we're doing that at all today. I think today we're just doing graphing stuff. But we'll see. I don't remember everything off the top of my head. Wait until everybody gets this down. So we're going to start by finding slope of some lines, and then we are going to find some equations here. So let's actually, you know what, let's just find the slope of this line right here. So what I need for slope is I need to look at 2 points I know for sure exactly where they are. So, as an example, I know exactly where this one is, right? It crosses right here in the little graph. Do I know exactly where this point right there is? No. It looks like it's kind of halfway and halfway, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to pick these ones that are exact. And I'll pick this one that's also exact. There's actually a couple more I can pick, but... So, slope is rise over run. So when I do these, I'm always going to go from left to right. I'm always going to go from left to right. So, from my left point, how far do I need to go up before I get to the same level? On this one, it's pretty easy. I got to go up 2, right? So, my rise is 2. Making sure I started recording this. So, when I go up, whenever I go up for my rise, excuse me, whenever I go up, it's always positive. But if I ever go down, it's always negative. So whenever you do rise over run and you go down, it is negative. So keep that in mind. Up is positive, down is negative. On this one, we're going up, so it's positive 2. And then my run is how far right I have to go. So I had to go, there we go. I had to go up 2, and then I have to go right 1, 2. So my slope is 2 over 2. And when we do slope, we pretty much always want to keep it as a fraction. We don't really want to make this into a decimal. But on this one, this slope is actually kind of nice. So what is 2 over 2 really? It's 1. So we almost always want to keep it as a fraction, but if it's something nice like this, just divide it out. Alright, so let's go through. We're going to find some more slopes. We're actually going to find the slope on all of these lines here. So let's start with line A, which is this one right here. The one kind of going up and right. Alright. When I find the slope of these lines, I need to pick 2 points I know for sure. On these problems, they were kind of nice because they gave us points. So on, actually, you know what, let me pick, try to use the same colors so it doesn't look weird. So they gave us these 2 points right here. So I'm going to do my rise over run. I'm always going from left to right. So on line A, we're finding the slope here. I got to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. My rise is 4 because I'm going up. so it's positive, and my run is 1, 2, 3. My slope is 4 over 3. And if I divide this out, am I going to get like the number 2 or something? Nice number of 5 decimals?
Hold up.
Yeah. We're going to get
Oh.
a decimal if we divide this,
Gotcha.
so we're going to leave it like a fraction. I'm not going to change it. So that's it for line A. Let's look at line B next, which is right here, is line B. So, and on this one, it was also kind of nice. They gave us points already. They gave us this point right here, and this one right here. So, this one, a little different though, because I'm starting on the left. I'm going down, right? Which means my slope is -1, -2, -3, -4. So my rise is actually negative. And then over, I just have to count how far I'm going over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -4, 5. Alright, so we're going to do line C and line D. And line C and D are kind of sneaky lines, or maybe not sneaky, but they're special ones. So, I'm going to look at line C here, and they already have 2 points for us, so I'm just going to go between my points. So, if I'm starting here on the left, am I going up or down at all?
No.
Let's see, no. My rise is 0. And then I'm going between the points, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. I get 0 over 4. What is 0 over 4? It's just 0. If I ever have a completely flat line, my slope is always 0. So if it's ever completely flat, like line C, you don't even really need to do rise over run. You got it. Just say 0. We'll get into those a little bit, not very often. And then line D, the last one here, this is also kind of a sneaky one. So line D is this up and down one right here. I got my 2 points. So on this one, do I really have a left and right point? No. So I'm just going to start at the bottom. And I'm going up 1, 2. That's my rise and over. Am I going left or right at all? No. Okay. On this though, can I do 2 divided by 0 and decimals? No. What did I get? Caleb, you got decimals right there. What's 2 divided by 0? Yeah, no, other way around. 2 divided by 0. What's it say? Undefined. Because can you divide by 0? No, you can never divide by 0. So, whenever you have a straight up and down line, our slope is undefined. If it's ever straight up and down, we just say undefined. We don't even really need to do anything else. Just say undefined. Alright. So it's your guys' turn now. What I want you to do is find the slope of each line. So of the green one and of the red one. So find it on your own, check with your partner, see if you get the same things. And then we'll fix it. So you gotta pick them yourself.
So you just gonna make them?
Sure. So pick. So on this, there's no dots, so you gotta make the dots yourself. So pick dots you know exactly where they are.
It's still
So-
that's not even on the freaking line. Okay, still off. Look. My line's gonna be.
Not all gonna be nice dots, so you gotta pick nice ones. Some nice friendly dots. They're gonna tell you exactly where they are.
Do you always have to go that way, or can you go that way?
Nah, bro, nah, bro.
Always go from left to right.
So on top. I mean, like that way.
That's some bogus.
Always go towards the left.
Looks pretty good. As long as you count them, right?
Pretty good.
I'll give you another minute or so. Work on these. Check your partner. Now, as you do these, your numbers might be slightly off because sometimes, especially when I make these lines, like on these problems, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell exactly where they are.
All of this one. Yours is
So, if your numbers are slightly different from mine, that's okay. Don't worry about it too bad. Just because it's hard to make these lines really perfect on the computer. At least for me.
-9. -9. Six over -10. It's not as kind of.
I want you to suck it. It builds character. I don't know, maybe I'll move you guys soon. Alright, let's pick somebody random here to do this for us. We get always at that desk. Alright, Joseph, pick a line for us to do.
There you go.
Doesn't matter which one you pick. So put the dots on there that you chose, and then you scroll. So just put your dot on there, like draw on. Alright, that's a good one. So that's Joseph's first dot, and then he's going to find his second one. Over there.
Come on now, Joe.
Yeah, Joseph.
Right there. There you go. That one's
Alright, and what'd you get for his list now? Alright, Joseph got A root 7, and you're close, except. What did that
Oh,
top one be? Negative 8. Remember, you're going down, which makes your slopes negative. Now, if your number is slightly different, like if you're off by like 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom, that's okay because it's kind of hard to tell exactly on my lines. So, if you are close to negative 8 over 7, you're okay.
What's that the right answer?
Why big X?
Let me, so that one, and this one,
Oh, yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So, negative 8 over 7, I would say is a correct answer, but because it's kind of hard to do these, if you got like a negative 7 over 6, I would take it.
What if I got like a negative 1 over 1?
I would double check that one. Yeah. Although they're actually really close to be the same thing. Did you pick like these two?
First the red dot on the top and then the next one.
Yeah, I would actually take that too. That's actually close. Because negative 8 over 7 is actually really close to the negative 1 over 1. It's like a negative 1.2 or something. Alright, and then for the next one, the last one here. Nope, it's Kylie. The second one for us, please, Kylie. You look so guilty when I say your name. Alright, Kylie's gonna do the second one for us, so draw your dots and then tell me what your slope is.
Wouldn't be G for base.
Use your muscles. Push down. There you go. That's a big dot, but I'll go for it. Alright, what's your other dot? Alright, looking pretty good. And now just tell me your slope, Riley. Alright, 3 over 7. That's fine.
2?
Yeah, I would say 1 over 2 would also work. Like I said, these are kind of hard to tell on my lines especially. I'm not very good at making these. So yeah, I would take a 1 over 2. Or if you have like a 4 over 8 or something.
Or 16 over 7?
16 over 7? No. That would be way off. So, okay, you went up 16, which is like way over here. Over 7 is like right here. Alright. So, that was finding our slope. So now, we are actually going to combine that to find equations of our lines. So, we just have one extra piece actually. Finding slope is half of our line. So, the equation we are going to be using is y equals mx plus b.
Because it goes up 1.
And when I use this equation, I need 2 things. I need m, which is my slope, and I need b, which is my y-intercept.
I thought it was base, but okay.
That's when we find areas.
Yeah.
So, our y-intercept is where our graph crosses the y-axis. So, that's all the y-intercept is, where our graph crosses the y-axis. So remember, y goes up and down, that's my up and down axis. All you need to do is find where it crosses. So let's look at these two down here. I'm going to find the m and the b of each line. M is my slope, b is my y-intercept. So on my first line here, I'm going to find 2 points I know for sure. I know this one, and I know this one for sure, which is 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. My slope is 1 over 1. And my b is where I cross the y-axis. So remember, y-axis is up and down. Terrible up and down line. I'm not going to go for it. No, I was
Then wouldn't it be 1 then?
Let me try that again.
Wouldn't it be 1 then?
Where does it cross the y-axis?
0.
Oh, you mean the m?
Alright. Okay. Ooh.
My y-axis goes up and down. My line right here crosses right at 0. My b is 0.
0.
All it is. Alright, let's look at this second one right here. I'm going to find my m, find my b. I know this point for sure. And I know, up here, get a little closer. I know this point for sure right here, like right in the very corner. So I'm going to find my m. I'm going to find my b. So my m, I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, and because I'm going down, it's negative 4. Over 1, 2, 3, negative 4 over 3. Alright, and then my y-axis
1.
is going to be right here, and that is the number 1. Alright, on these next ones, I forgot to write it down, but we are going to find the equation of these 2 lines over here. But we actually, it's the same work really. We gotta find our m, we gotta find our b, and then we just gotta put them together into y equals mx plus b. So let's look at this orange line right here. I know this point for sure is right there. And I know, let's see, I know that point for sure. And my lines aren't very good, so I'm sorry, they're bad. Alright, and I know that point for sure. So I need my m, and I need my b. So on this one, my m, I'm going down 1, right 1. Down makes it negative 1, over, right 1 is 1. Okay, I gotta use it. Can't see anything on the projector. Try one more time. I was trying to keep it the same color as the line. Yeah, I don't like it. I have to change that. Alright. So let me see. Negative 1 over 1. And my b is going to be right here where it crosses, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. To make this equation, it's actually pretty simple. I found m, that's my slope, right? I'm going to put that in for my m right here. I found b, my y-intercept, which is 5. I'm going to put it in for b. The only thing that changes in this equation is m and b. I'm going to replace those with my actual numbers. So I'm gonna go y equals, my m is -1/1, or what is -1/1 really?
Negative 1.
Just -1. So -1 x plus my b is 5. That's it. After you find m, after you find b, you've done all the work. You just need to put them together. Alright, let's look at this one down here. I need to find my m and my b on this purple line. So I'm going to find my m first by picking the 2 points I know for sure. I know that one, and I know this one. So I'm going to go up 1, right 1, 2, 3. 1/3 is my m. My b is, it's going to be right here where I cross the y-axis, and it's going to be negative because -1, I'm going down. -1, -2, -3, -4. And I just need to actually fill these into my equation. So y equals 1/3. I'm going to leave that as a fraction, which is fine. 1/3x and plus, hang on, let me get some more space for it. 1/3x plus -4. So you can say plus -4 or you can say -4. It doesn't matter either way. They're both the same thing. I'll let you get it copied down real quick. If you don't have it, you got it all, Quantum? You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. All right, let's. You know what? We're actually going to skip this, and we are not going to make the graph yet. Yeah, we're going to skip these and give you time practicing the x plus b. We're not going to make the graph.
Go back.
So skip these. Fine. Tyler.
Okay, got it.
All right, so we're actually going to skip this one because I want us to practice making the equations first. So skip this slide. Skip this slide. So skip both of these. And we're going to go to our exit ticket, but I'm going to have to actually hang on. This is going to be your exit ticket. So you're going to have to look on the board. So we're not doing that piece. So just a second.
Exit tickets, this one?
Yeah, so I'm making it up real quick. As soon as it...
Jesus.
There we go. Okay. So what I want you to do is find the equation for your exit ticket. So find the equation. If you can't see it from there, you can come up to the front here and figure it out. All right. Find the equation. I'll put it into Scrative real quick here. You're gonna cover it up for everybody, Mick, or? All right. Find the equation. And then I'll change your homework around a little bit. So give me a second for that, and then that'll be it for today.